Hey, welcome to Weird Wednesday, everybody. This is John House, or used toy for baloneybrain.com. Joining me, of course, is my partner in crime, my partner in all things weird, suburban hobo, or Daryl House. How you doing, Daryl?
Hey, good to be back again. It's kind of crappy weather down here, It seems to have changed a little bit. It's gotten breezier and a little cooler, but a little threatening rain. It's like, well, I think we're over the summer, but, it's not been the prettiest couple of days for my beautiful South Florida.
Well, it's pretty nice here. We've got a little fall in the air. Highs about 60, lows about 39.
Speaking of falling in the air, what happened Thursday night in Miami?
I knew this was coming.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah. I mean, not only did Dalton not have a great game, but our receivers, they were hitting them in the hands with the ball, and they would still not catch it.
So now you know what it feels like to be a Dolphin fan. Because honestly, I thought that the Bengals were going to win. I thought there was no way we were going to lose. And now, I don't know if you saw yesterday's Baloney Brain, but I wrote about two subjects I've been shying away from. One is bullying in the NFL, and I still don't understand how you bully a 6'5", 320-pound offensive lineman. Don't get that.
Well,
and the other one.
No, you're a pretty big boy. You should know about bullying, because the last time Rick and I put it on you in trivia, I think you felt pretty bullied.
I don't remember you ever beating me at trivia.
When we were on the road making the last album, and Rick and I in the Wings place, we were playing for shots.
Oh, okay. Well, I have an excuse for not remembering. Then the other subject I tackled, by the way, I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was about the big struggle going on about putting medical marijuana on the ballot for the voters to decide here in Florida. And because I do so much in children in schools and libraries, I've been biting my tongue over this, and I still didn't really voice much of an opinion, except for the fact that if it's going to make somebody who is very, very sick feel better, give it to them. What are they, just being stupid?
Yeah, I agree. Well, what do you have for us today?
Hey, I got some pretty good stuff, as a matter of fact. I hope you're going to like this one. How about Superman? I love Superman.
I love Superman.
Took a lot less than kryptonite to take this man down, though. Police up in Massachusetts, up in Amherst, tell the Daily Hampshire Gazette that a man dressed in a Superman costume was treated for a head injury after being punched in the face late Wednesday night. Apparently, he refused to get out of the way of a motorist trying to enter the driveway of a home. Amherst Detective Richard McLean says witnesses told investigators that Superman, who was not identified but said to be of college age, had been trying to stir up trouble in the area. Police say the man was knocked to the sidewalk by the punch. He was taken to a hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The encounter remains under investigation.
Well, if you're going to talk superheroes, I've got a new one for you. I know
Really?
Normally you don't like lawyers, but this one, I'm telling you, this one's got me pretty entertained, at least. A prosecutor recently asked the criminal court of Williamson County, Tennessee, to instruct another lawyer named Drew Justice not to refer to her as the government any longer, because she thought the word is used in a derogatory way meant to inflame and cause dislike in the jury. Well, the Drew Justice, the attorney, and that's his real name, he responded in a formal written motion with the suggestion that if the court will be allowing attorneys to pick their own titles, he'd prefer to lose the designation of lawyer or defense attorney and be known as the guardian of the realm or defender of the innocent. And it gets better. When being addressed by name, the guardian of the realm wrote in his court filing that he'd like to be called Captain Justice.
You know what? He could be my lawyer.
See,
That's
I like a guy like that. That's a good sense of humor.
Well, as long as that's kind of a feel-good story. This is sort of a feel-good story. This is an Indiana story. This is a Hoosier one. A central Indiana woman who promised to donate one of her kidneys to a man she barely knew has married him 3 years after his successful transplant surgery. The players here, Chelsea Clare and Kyle Freilich, met at the 2009 car show. He was 19, she was 22. She learned that day that Freilich had a serious kidney disease, and she told him then and there that she would give him one of hers. Well, she underwent the necessary tests. She ended up being a near-perfect match.
Wow.
3 years ago, she donated one of her kidneys to Freilich. The Indianapolis Star reports that the couple was married October 12th at the Danville Conservation Club, and that's the venue that hosted the car show where they initially met, proving once again that what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine.
In the words of Marty Brenneman, ain't love grand.
And divorce is 50 grand.
All right, a man accused of faking seizures to get out of restaurant tabs. A Baltimore man dubbed the Dine and Dasher has been hitting just restaurant after restaurant to dine, and then he pretends to have a seizure to get out of his check. The problem is that if it's under $100, he usually, because it's not a violent crime, he usually gets out of jail early, and he goes right back to doing it. He's had an upscale barbecue place, an Italian eatery just in the last week, and he's had more than 90 arrests. Been found guilty of petty theft at least 8 times in the past year alone.
Reminds me of the old story about what you get when you cross an epileptic and a head of lettuce. A seizure salad. I don't, that is just so wrong. Anyway, you know what? Haven't done a stupid criminal story here today, and if I got one here, and it's, believe it or not, a South Florida story.
All right.
Burglar left cell phone in the house. Mom's call helped track him down. Deputies say they tracked down a man who broke into it and burglarized the house Thursday after he left his cell phone on the kitchen counter, and his mom called. An investigator picked up the phone when it started ringing at the Lake Worth house, that's up in Palm Beach, and the word Mom appeared on the screen. So according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, he asked the woman on the other end who the phone belonged to, and she said her son, Derek Codd. Codd, 19 years old, of Lake Worth, had the victim's cell phone at his house and had hidden the man's shotgun at an abandoned house, the report said. A woman who was with him, Kristen Reinierson, 19 years old, of Lantana, had 49 pieces of jewelry belonging to the victim's wife in her purse. Both were arrested. They're facing multiple charges, including burglary and larceny. The pair remained behind bars late Monday, with bail set at $1,000 for Reinierson and $18,000 for Codd, according to county records. It's stupid.
See, that reminds me of the old fish song. And this guy's gonna need a sturgeon. Nah, he's not gonna need a sturgeon. Somebody call the Codds. Since his name was Codd.
Yeah, I'm laughing huge, John, but I'm really trying to keep it all on the inside.
All right, well, stupid criminals. Canada's Border Services say it stumbled upon a different kind of Halloween surprise and some pumpkins this year. Authorities found 3 pumpkins in a woman's luggage, and I guess she apparently didn't know that you can x-ray those, because inside was 4.4 pounds of cocaine.
Oh, well, of course.
So obviously the lady's in some trouble, and the border agency spokeswoman was not able to say where the passenger was coming from or whether she was a Canadian citizen, but they were able to confiscate the cocaine.
And the pumpkins. I thought maybe first of all they were going to be like breast augmentation devices or something. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. Well, listen, folks, it's another week of Weird Wednesday here at BaloneyBrain.com. Again, we haven't done this in a couple of weeks. I want to invite you all to please feel free to send us a story. If you see something great in your newspaper, you hear it on the local news, and you think, that's got legs, send it to us here either in the comments on the sidebar at BaloneyBrain.com or catch us on Facebook. We'd love to share your stories with our audience. John, have a great week. Thanks for joining us, folks.
We'll see you next week.